champion, I hope you're doing well. I am Ninni and I welcome you back to the channel that is less of mine and more of us. Back in the year 2022, I was hit by so many realizations, and to be very honest, I was ready for none of them. It was like I was sitting in the examination hall to write the exam with so many examiners standing on my head just to ensure that I don't cheat. There were so many different question papers kept in front of me, and these different question papers had questions from subjects like career, future plan, family relationships, family expectations, societal pressures, life in general, and much more. And this is not the end. I was sitting to write the exam with my hands tied, which meant even if I wanted to write something, I couldn't. As I said earlier, I had no clue what to do. And the cherry on the cake was I had no one to guide me or at least listen to my questions or anything that I wanted to say. In short, that phase was much more deadly than the deadliest nightmare of mine. I literally had no clue what to do, when to do, how to do. Kuch nahi pata tha. No one had warned me against that, and clearly I did not see that coming. Today, in the year 2024, I am glad I was blessed with that phase. During the initial days of that phase, there were so many realizations that broke me into pieces. There were so many lessons that I couldn't have learned any other way. There were so many bad habits I got trapped into. There were so many wrong mindsets I had adopted. There were so many mindset shifts that saved me. Watch this video till the end and then let me know in the comments if you want me to make more such video sharing my own experiences, my own learnings from that dark phase. In this video, we will talk about 7 biggest learnings or mindsets that literally saved me and my life. Now, without any delay, let's start the video. To start with, first on our list is acceptance is the first step always. The moment we start to accept our reality is the moment we start to change our reality. This mindset helped me in accepting my situations instead of just complaining, questioning, and blaming others for my condition. I started to accept my situations one by one, and this is how I also started to look for better ways to get out of those terrible moments. Next up is, I have no control over anyone else and the end results. I can only control myself and the present moment. If you'll closely observe your thoughts when you are overthinking or when you find yourself overwhelmed by the negativity, you'll realize that 95% of those thoughts are mainly from 2 categories. One is how other people act, react, think, behave, and respond to situations. And the second one is the end results. For example, thoughts like,
how will I pass my exams? I have just 1 week left for preparations.
Or
why did they cheat on me?
Or
why do they use and throw me?
Or
why can't my parents see how stressed I am about my career?
Or
what if I end up being a failure in my life?
If you observe these examples well, you'll find out that most of these overwhelming thoughts are about things that are completely out of our control. Every individual is out of our control, which also means that we have nothing to do with how a person operates. Similarly, we have no control over the end results. All we can control is our own selves and our present moment. This mindset helped me categorize my thoughts, and then slowly and gradually I consciously started to eliminate thoughts about things that were completely out of my control. Third on our list is people around you have no idea about your situation, so how can you expect them to be nice to you? This was an eye-opener for me. Often I used to cry over the fact that people around me are not understanding me and are not being kind and gentle towards me. I'm sure you too must have noticed yourself crying over the same. But the question is, do we ever let other people know about the hell we are going through? Definitely not, right? We don't tell them our problems and yet expect them to understand us and our situation. Isn't that too much to expect from a human nowadays? This mindset again helped me stop blaming other people and have lesser expectations from them. And yes, less expectations is good for everyone's health. Fourth on our list is no one is going to come for my rescue. I am the only one who can save me. This mindset made me very well aware of the fact that if I wanted to get out of those terrible situations, I will have to move my own hands and legs and put in some efforts to pull myself out of that darkness and push myself back on the track. This mindset was actually an extension to the previous one. Understanding and subscribing to these two mindsets completely changed my perspective on how I saw the role of other human beings in my life. I took back the control of my life and moved on to next understanding. Next on our list is it's me versus my mind and not me versus other people. I read somewhere that our only enemy that we have to defeat is our own mind. Nothing else and no one else. Once we have our mind in our control, we have already won the game. The moment I accepted the me versus my mind theory, 95% of my complaints and questions started to fade away. Now I very clearly knew who my enemy was, and I thought that now my battle would become a bit easier. But then in the very next moment, this awareness of who my enemy was decided to send me on a guilt trip. Till now, I was blaming other people for my situations, and now I started thrashing myself for being wrong, for making mistakes, and for wasting precious time. Now it was time for another eye-opener for me. I am a human and I am allowed to make mistakes irrespective of what others say. At first, it was very hard for me to digest this theory because clearly I had started to see myself as the most terrible person ever born on this planet. So to digest this theory, I did the most logical thing. I went on to Google Baba and asked him if making mistakes was okay. As usual, I was presented with dozens of articles, videos, researches and studies. I went on to read around 17 articles and watched 6 YouTube videos. And then I was somewhat able to digest this theory. This mindset helped me accept my flaws, embrace them, and work towards fixing them. And the 7th one on our list is no matter whatever happens, never ever ignore that little voice coming from your heart. That voice is the only one who knows you for exactly who you are. This is the costliest lesson I have ever learned in my life so far. I had to pay a very huge price for this one. Today, I am glad that I have learned this and also started to implement this. No matter whatever happens, champion, never ever ignore or silence that little voice coming from your heart. By surrendering to this little voice, even if you end up on a losing side, you will be the winner because then you will have peace in your heart. You will have practical lessons and experiences from your failure, and you will have very genuine and gentle smile on your face. And yes, listening to your heart will cost you a lot. Don't hesitate to pay those prices. In the end, all of it will be worth it. Remember, champion, we all go through dark phases at some point in our lives. Some of us have already made considerable progress in our journey, while others have just entered into this phase. As someone who has dealt with a bit of this phase, all I can say is that these dark phases come into our lives not to break us but to make us. These dark phases come into our lives to teach us, to train us, to prepare us to become the person we are truly meant to be. These were the few learnings or mindsets that helped me in pulling myself out of the darkness. I hope these lessons, these learnings will also be helpful for you. In the comments, do let me know if you want me to make more such videos. If you found this video helpful, consider subscribing to our channel. It's absolutely free for you, but very important and very precious for us. If you have any feedback for me or any question for me, drop them in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video on Tuesday at 5:15 p.m. sharp. Until then, remember that you are a champion, and worry less, live more.